Now he's getting another beer. You want to come say hi? Amber says hi.
Hey,
Never
Amber.
mind. She retracts it.
Happy vacation to you.
Kevin says happy vacation. She says thank you.
Did you give us a 3, 2, 1? I forgot we have to hit record on Audacity.
No, we haven't done that yet.
I'll try not to slur tonight, guys. I'll do my
Oh.
best. No promises.
All right. So 3, 2, 1.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Riley, come on.
Sorry.
Do it again.
Are you ready?
Damn you, Riley.
3,
I wasn't ready either.
3, 2, 1, go.
Poor Kevin. Kevin is already dreading this on.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the 11th episode of the Dynasty Wall Street podcast. I am Kevin Cotillo, and I have with me Riley Bymaster. What's going on, Riley?
Oh, not much, Kevin. Just sitting here on vacation, but still got to get the work in, I guess.
That's it. You can't slack off. You gotta go ahead and do the work. I know that your girlfriend's thrilled to have you podcasting while you guys are on vacation, so that's awesome.
Yep. Live audience here tonight. I'm
Shout
a little
out
nervous.
Shout out to Amber, who probably doesn't listen to us anyway, but she gets to hear this one. So
Not a chance. Not a chance.
we also have John Bosch with us. I think he's partially with us in some shape or form.
I am with you every step of the way, Kevin.
All right.
And I also am glad to know that Riley's girlfriend's name is Amber.
Good. Yes, I'm glad that pleases you. That's weird.
Yeah, it's a really good song by 311. So
But it is a great song. It is a great song. I will give you that. That I am on board with. All right, we're gonna get right to it because it's really late. John's other show, Dynasty Game Night, has run a little long tonight, so we play second fiddle to him, of course. So
obviously, completely.
that's right. But we are Dynasty Wall Street. We talk about player values. That's all we talk about. Player values versus other players versus picks, everything. We use the Dynasty Trade Calculator, which you can find on dynastytradecalculator.com. In most cases, we're going to use 12-team PPR formats. We'll use Superflex for quarterbacks. And in some cases, we might use some other settings. There's a lot of variables on that calculator, which is awesome. It's a great tool. Sign up for it now. But we'll let you know if we use anything different. We're going to talk about a quarterback, a running back, and a wide receiver tonight. And John's going to kick it off with a quarterback.
Alrighty, so the quarterback that I am bringing tonight is, to me, completely undervalued. I understand that when we play Dynasty, we are looking at guys in a window beyond a year. But if you're playing anything to win this year, like there are quarterbacks that they do matter because they're going to be on your team. If you're playing Superflex, of course. Single QB, you can just stop listening. As long as you download it, we're already good. But Superflex, this is a quarterback that does seem to have some value, but nobody seems to like him. Sam Bradford comes in at 10 on the Dynasty Trade Calculator. Kevin and I actually got him for the minimum value in an auction that we are doing right now for a startup. If you're equating that to picks, it comes in at the 112 to 1. I'm sorry. Sorry, Kevin.
No worries.
If you're equating that to picks, it comes in between the 112 and the 201. The 112 is 11 and the 201 is 9. So right in the middle, Sam Bradford. I'm really curious. What are you guys doing? I'm going to start with Riley because I kind of know what Kevin's doing. Riley, what are you doing with Sam Bradford for right at that turn in a super flex draft? What are you doing with Sam Bradford?
I mean, I like Bradford, but at that value, I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on the pick just because I like some of the guys in that range that are falling. You know, you can probably get Cortland Sutton there if it's super flex. You know, maybe you get lucky and you have, you know, a running back fall to you if possible. So, I mean, I like Bradford, but at that give me the pick at the turn.
I think, John, I assume you think I'm taking Bradford here.
No, I don't. That's not my assumption.
All right, good, because I'm gonna take the pick. Yeah, I like Bradford, I really do, but I'm with Riley on this one. That 112, 201 range is probably a little bit too much value for me to pass up. I think, I mean, unless you're really, really, quarterback strapped, or obviously we're talking super flex and you don't have another starter, or maybe perhaps you just drafted Rosen with like the 103 or something, and you have the 201 as well. Maybe that's a situation I might look to flip him, if that way I can lock up that quarterback position for this year. But that's really, even then, I'd still be hesitant.
Yeah, I completely agree with you guys, actually. I'm really happy we got him for the minimum, but this is a league where we are forced to fill like 30 roster spots.
Yeah.
So the minimum salary on a guy that, I don't know, let's face it, he's probably going to start 4-5 games, maybe. If he's good enough, he'll keep starting, because I think Arizona has kind of said the plan is to not play Rosen in year one. We both love Rosen. Sam Bradford feels like kind of an insurance policy against him. So I love your idea, Kevin, of if you do take Rosen, maybe you can shop to get Bradford, and then you've got it locked up. You're safe either way. That's, I think, the best way to go. We aren't going to be releasing this until after we already get Rosen in that auction, right?
I hope so. And you know what? I will say this though too: if you can, Bradford may have some value beyond this year. I mean, if he does play well, obviously they're going to go with Rosen next year. But if he does play well, he could play himself into yet another starting role somewhere. So there's
Case Keenum.
Exactly. There's potential for him to be on a team and starting next year. It's, the chances are smaller, I would say, but it's definitely a possibility.
No, so that leads us into the players that we will discuss with them. Keenum comes in at 13.5. I think we're all going to take Keenum over Bradford right now, just because Keenum was signed. He was given that contract. Denver didn't take a quarterback. Josh Allen comes in at 13.4, right, with Keenum. I'm going to ask you guys, either are you taking Bradford over Allen? I feel like it's Allen. I know Riley's on board with Allen.
Yeah, it's Allen for me pretty easily.
Yeah, Kevin?
Yeah, Allen definitely for me as well. We talked about it. The upside for Allen is way better. So,
yeah. All right. So we'll go to the next quarterback down. Dalton comes in at 12. To me, that's an easy, I'll take Dalton, right? You guys disagree or agree?
Agree.
I'll take
Dalton.
I'll take Dalton as well.
Okay, so now we get to that tier of quarterbacks that's really close. We've eliminated those upper quarterbacks that are obvious. Flacco comes in at 11.5. Tannehill and Eli Manning both come in at 10.7. And Mason Rudolph comes in at 9.7. So we're really close to that Sam Bradford range. Where do you put Bradford in this ranking that goes Flacco 11.5, Tannehill, Eli 10.7, Mason Rudolph 9.7? We're going to start with Kevin. Where do you have Bradford slotted in there? This is super flex, remember, folks. Quarterbacks have value. You can trade them often if they're starting.
So I'm probably going to go, my list here would start with Eli, then Flacco. Then I'd probably slot in Sam Bradford, and then Tannehill and Rudolph.
So you're almost dead on the calculator values. Your little bit of discrepancy is that you're going to take, I believe you said,
Eli would be first in this list for me, because I do think that Eli's going to play for another couple of years. Obviously,
really?
when they didn't draft a guy this year, I think to me that said, even if if they're picking high again next year and they draft another guy, I don't think they're going to draft him with the intention to start him right away. So I think you get 2 years of Eli, and with the weapons that they have surrounded him with, I actually like the production you're going to get out of him. So for me, he's got more of a window than I think Flacco does, who's probably going to be shipped off for Lamar Jackson next year, than Tannehill does, who I think may or may not have a job next year. And, same goes for Rudolph, who may start next year, but is probably more like 3 years out if he actually gets a chance. So,
what about you, Riley? How do you have your rankings of this group?
Okay, prepare yourselves.
Mason Rudolph, number one.
No,
he hates Rudolph.
God, no.
Riley hates Rudolph.
No, it was just Riley likes young folks.
The player and the reindeer.
Riley is a young folk. That's why.
Riley is a young folk.
Let's see. We're gonna go Tannehill first.
What?
Oh God,
that's gross.
I know. That's
so gross.
Okay,
so
it's gross. But you know what? It's not like we're talking about elite quarterbacks here.
No, we are not.
Tannehill first. Eli second. Okay, this is where it sucks. Give me Flacco third, Bradford fourth. Was Rudolph my last one?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yep, Rudolph's my last one. But I understand if you want to take Rudolph over Flacco and Bradford. That seems. I'm not going to hate you for it because I understand. They might as well move Flacco to tight end because Lord knows the Ravens need more tight ends.
You made that joke
like,
last episode.
Yes.
Just pointing it out.
2 for 2. I didn't even know that.
Well, it's Riley. Congratulations on having a kid already, obviously.
What?
You're repeating jokes. That's what dad's.
Okay. Never mind.
It's okay. I didn't get that either. I didn't know where Bosch was going with the kid thing either. So
I was like, I don't have kids. But anyway, so like I wouldn't come down hard on you if you want Rudolph over Bradford or Flacco because obviously Bradford and Flacco aren't going to have jobs 2 years down the road, two or 3 years. So,
but Tannehill,
yeah, I feel pretty. I think so. I think he's going to have a nice bounce back year. Yeah, I've never hated Tannehill. Is he the best? No.
I don't hate him either, but I could easily see the Dolphins going like 3-13 and picking at the top of the draft again.
It's likely.
And when you do that, you typically look to take a quarterback. So I'm just saying.
I don't know. I mean,
wait,
it's not
unless you're the Giants.
Unless you're the Giants, right? But,
unless you're the Giants.
But the Giants have like Eli Manning's a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill.
He is.
And Eli Manning's young enough where you can get you should know you can get a couple more years. I know everyone bashed the Giants for that, and rightfully so with this quarterback class and knowing that they're probably not going to be picking that high again. Fine. The Dolphins could pick that high for the next 3 years, and it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, Tannehill's always kind of had a thing about him where I think he always kind of puts up decent fantasy points. And do I care, where the ball goes? I just care if the receiver catches it.
But that doesn't mean he's going to have a job. Fantasy points doesn't win you a job.
Okay, true.
Sure
I could see a Tyrod Taylor.
This is Kevin's argument to hate Blake Bortles too. So it is. It really is.
Bortles got extended. At least there's that.
Exactly.
I can give him that.
Fantasy points don't win you a job, but winning games actually does win you a job.
And that's my point. The Dolphins will not win games this year.
I agree with you. So I'll jump in. I'll say, I think Eli is my top of this group. I think he actually comes out with the most trade value throughout the season. All of these guys are guys that I would like to ship throughout the season if I own them. I do think Eli is going to be an advantageous player to anybody in Superflex that's going for a championship. I think he's got a good year. I don't know that Kevin's right and he has 2 or 3 years. That'd be great because he's so cheap. But I do think Eli has at least one good year left in him. I am struggling with Flacco, Bradford, Tannehill. I don't think they have anything left beyond this year. They might get signed. Maybe they do flash and they become the Keenum of next year. But I don't even have confidence in Keenum beyond this year. So it really is a tough group. But I've been very curious about the value of Sam Bradford because I think everybody is valuing Josh Rosen more in Superflex, which makes sense when you're talking about Dynasty. But Sam Bradford still has some value. I think he has that job for at least a year. And to give up that kind of value for a starting quarterback in the Superflex league, that's easy. I'll trade that value to get Sam Bradford. I think. I don't know. It feels weird, but if I can get a starting quarterback in a second round of a Superflex league, worst come to worst, my team's not good, and I just ship him, and I think that value's insulated. Am I wrong on that?
His value might not be. Only because if your team tanks, and I mean, there's so much variable with him, right? So you have to have to expect that someone had an injury, right? Depending on the size of your league, obviously, but you have to expect at that point that someone had an injury to a quarterback and is a contender in order to be able to ship him, because no one's trading for him for future value.
There's no chance in hell you're getting a first for Sam Bradford right now.
You're taking a chance that if you want to pay that, and with the idea that maybe his value is insulated, I think it could go down at any point because he could lose the starting job. He could he could get injured. There's just a lot of variables with Bradford. So
that's
if
true.
He plays great, you're right.
The day he loses his starting job, it's over.
It's over. Yeah,
it's over. That is true.
He may get another job, or at least be brought in to compete. But
I think he'll get another job. But I don't think he loses the job this year unless he gets hurt. Which with Sam Bradford, we all know that's a high possibility.
His next job will be like Nick Foles, basically high-end backup with the chance to start somewhere if he flashes. Maybe he gets another starting job somewhere down the line. That's what he's going to be, I think. So,
all right. Well, let's move on to running back.
We are moving on to running back, and I struggled with picking someone because, I mean, I have a lot of strong opinions on pretty much the entire list of guys.
Because there's no running backs in the league?
Yeah, no running backs. But this guy, I looked at him and I thought to myself, would I buy him right now for this value? And coming in at a 26.5 on the calculator, I was on the fence. Christian McCaffrey at a 26.5, and that is equivalent to an early 2019 first and a mid 2019 first, which comes out to a 27.0. So right off the bat, McCaffrey or an early and a mid 2019 first. Kevin, which direction are you leaning?
Oh, I know which direction Kevin's leaning.
I'm smiling because McCaffrey is actually comparable to the guy I'm going to talk about later for wide receiver. So I'm smiling because I knew those values. But Bosch, it's tougher for me than you think. I love.
Well,
Christian
that means
McCaffrey.
you know which way I'm going, right?
I'm a big fan of Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to take Christian McCaffrey. I like those are good picks. Those are great picks to have two firsts in the top half of the draft is going to be great. But I think McCaffrey's you want to talk about insulated value. I think he's a guy who has insulated value. He's going to produce every year. The guy is probably going to catch 100 passes this year. And I think he's going to get more carries than he did last year, which is, even with a terrible yards per carry average, even with limited production, he's still, it's all gravy for him. So I'll stick with McCaffrey here.
Okay. He only had 117 carries last year. So eclipsing that's not going to be difficult.
Exactly.
How much did the RB2 have?
I don't have those numbers in front of me.
Okay. Cut that out then, Kevin. That's a bad question.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. It is a good question. So let's just give me a second. We'll edit this. John, you can ask your question again.
All right.
I was
Jonathan Stewart was the RB2, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right? Okay. Yes. Look up Jonathan Stewart. How many carries did he have?
Hang on. Here we go.
I can pull it up here.
Sorry, I asked a good question.
No,
at least this edit will be for a good question, not just because I slurred over myself.
Right. Give us.
I did my prep like 20 minutes beforehand, so I
give us a little pause and then go ahead with the question again.
So how many carries did the RB2 have last year, and Cam Newton for that fact?
So interestingly enough, they both had more carries for Carolina than McCaffrey did. Newton had 139 rushing attempts, and Stewart had 198. Jonathan Stewart, obviously the RB2 there. None of them produced very well, but Riley, 117 carries at a 3.7 yards per carry average is 435 yards. I'm betting he's going to carry the ball better than 3.7 this year.
Yeah, so the reason I asked that question is I don't think Carolina wants to continue to rely on Cam. I mean, that's not safe. That's bad strategy to continue to rely on your quarterback to carry the ball that much. So I don't think they can do that. As much as I like CJ Anderson and things like best ball, I don't think CJ Anderson is the answer to take a majority of carries. I really do think Christian McCaffrey does take the majority of carries on the Carolina Panthers this year. And I don't think those receptions go down. If anything, I don't know. I love Christian McCaffrey in a PPR league. Like, he feels like he's so much cheaper to acquire than any of the other running backs that came out last year. So I am a Christian McCaffrey believer. It's easy for me to say Christian McCaffrey on this one.
See, I don't know if Cam Newton's rushing attempts go down, because surely he didn't have 139 designed runs. I mean, how many, like, if you had to ballpark it, how many do you think were the play breaks down, nobody's open, and he takes his tank of a body and starts running downfield? It has to be at least,
half?
At least half. I'd say 50 to 60%.
I was going to say around 50%, but
So,
I could also see it being a little less.
Yeah, it could be less. And
40,
I think
40% wouldn't shock me.
I think going forward, I don't know why you would design the carries to go to Cam Newton. That's just stupid. Like, that's just it's not good. It's not good game planning from keeping your quarterback safe. So I don't know why you would design the carries to go to Cam Newton. I get the scrambling. Like, that's fine. There's no way to account for that. But the designed carries are going to go to, in my opinion, Christian McCaffrey, CJ Anderson, protect the hell out of Cam Newton.
To that point, though, like we said, even if it's on the high end, right? Even if the design runs are 60%, I mean, you're still talking 80? That's 80 carries. So
that's a lot for a quarterback.
I mean, it's a lot. You got to figure they want to limit that. I agree with you, Bosch. And so let's assume maybe they take half of those away. You're talking about 40 more carries. My thought is most of those are going to go to Christian McCaffrey, because I don't think I think CJ Anderson at best is going to get the 198 carries that Jonathan Stewart did, and he's probably going to get less than that. So I can see McCaffrey getting in the 175 range.
Which is fantastic for a guy that gets 175 and the amount of targets that he gets. For me, I'm an unabashed Christian McCaffrey believer, so I will buy that.
If he gets that yards per carry average up to, even 4 at 175, that's literally huge. You're talking 700 yards on top of the 100 receptions and probably another 800 yards or so.
That amount of receptions for a running back is enormous. Like, that gives you a base that is so safe in PPR. It's ridiculous.
He's your running back 2 and your wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
So,
but that's best case scenario, right? Like, that's assuming he gets more
carries. I don't think it is best case scenario. I think that's what it is.
I think last year was his floor. I'll put it that way.
Yep.
And he was a very productive running back.
I'm so glad me and Kevin agree on this.
I mean, I guess I'm tempering my expectations a little bit. Would it shock me if his yards per carry stays the same, but he does get a few more carries? Then again, with DJ Moore in the picture, I could see his receptions dip into 70, 65, 70. I mean, I don't know.
I don't think there's any chance that his receptions go down to 70. That's where he is an ultimate weapon. I think Carolina knew that when they drafted him. They knew the weapon that he brings to that offense. Yes, it's different than Carolina's ever had. Cam Newton, not good at throwing the running backs. Whatever. That's because he didn't have Christian McCaffrey. Like, he has that now. And I really believe that they're going to use that weapon.
And he's still not good at throwing to running backs. And McCaffrey still caught 90 balls last year.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll jump to the players.
Well, no, wait, Riley, you didn't.
Okay, yeah.
You give your pick. Do you take the picks? You take the picks, don't you?
I take
Riley
the picks.
wants the picks.
Just because my only thing is we're assuming and hoping for so many variables. We're saying, you know, he's going to get more carries. We hope he's going to increase his yards per carry. We hope, and he's going to catch as many or more passes. We hope. It's just a lot to rely on.
But even if none of those increase, if literally he stays, if this is
his ceiling.
If this is his ceiling, would you not give those picks for this as a guaranteed ceiling from here on?
No, because there's nowhere to go but down.
But wait a minute. But you're saying that we're speculating that he's going to get more carries and he's going to get, you know, continue with this amount of receptions and all of that. Yet you're taking two picks who you have no idea who they even are.
Okay, it's not about using those picks to select players. It's those picks are going to go nowhere but up.
Riley, I hate to tell you this, but eventually you have to select players with draft picks.
Right. Or no, you can trade them. You can trade them for better values. You can trade them for better values.
Always that next year.
I'll keep
That's
hedging.
Like 18 fourths.
Let's crush some players, Riley. Who do you got for players?
Okay. So the players, we're going to go Darius Geis at a 23.8, Derrick Henry at a 22.5, Dalvin Cook came in at a 29.7, and Joe Mixon at a 24. So Geis, Henry, Cook, Mixon, and McCaffrey. This is a fun group.
This is a fun group. That's a good selection of players there.
Thank you. That makes up for my McCaffrey take.
Are you being totally wrong on it? Yes, it does.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, my opinion's always wrong. You should know that by now. Vosh, we'll start with you this time.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. We're going to put you on the spot. Give me your list.
I can go first.
No, I'll jump off on this one. So, because I mean, I really do. Like, I in a PPR league, I really do love McCaffrey. I think the only person I'm putting ahead of him is Cook. And yes, I do like Cook above Christian McCaffrey. I know people think I hate Cook because Cook had a very small sample. I would trade Cook. If I could trade Cook for Christian McCaffrey plus, I would do that all day in a PPR league. All day. So to me, I think it goes Cook. I think it goes Cook, McCaffrey, Geis, Henry. Oh, no, that's not right. Mixon probably is up there. I think
this is hard.
This is hard. I'm going to go Cook, McCaffrey. Oh, it pains me to say it, but I think it's Mixon because Mixon, people are starting to jump on Mixon. They love him. His value is going up, even though he hasn't done anything. So Cook, McCaffrey, Mixon, Geis, Henry. I'll tell you the truth. If I had to buy somebody out of that, I'm going to buy McCaffrey. I'm going to buy Henry. McCaffrey I love because people hate him. And Henry's just the cheapest with, I think, the highest upside. So that's my list. What do you got, Kevin?
Wait. Time out. You think Derrick Henry has a higher upside than Dalvin Cook?
No. I put Cook at the top, right?
Yeah, Cook was his number one.
Okay.
But I'm sorry for the price that it costs. I shouldn't say upside. I should say return on investment. Is that better?
Okay. Yeah, I thought you meant the group. I was
no. I'm sorry. That was
all right.
Maybe I misspoke. But yeah, I think people are knocking Henry down, and I've not been a big Henry fan, but as he gets knocked down further, he starts to become more likable by me. What do you got, Kevin?
My list starts with Christian McCaffrey. And it probably Cook and Geis are very close for me. like very close. Like that to me that's a toss up. Henry's clearly the fourth
So we
here.
put the disclaimer in here that you just will not have Mixon on a team.
So you know what? I knew you were going to bring that up, and I honestly, you're right. He's off my board, but I still rank him where I think he would go for value wise, and because he does have value, like you said, people do. While I don't want him on my team, people do want him on their team. So I'm certainly not. I think I even told you this in this startup that we're working on. I'm not opposed to taking him because I know you can move him. So
yes, we can take him if we trade him.
If we trade him, right? So, but I do think he's last of this group just because I don't think that his value will hold because I don't think he's as good of a running back as maybe better than Henry.
I think he is a good running back, but I'm agree. Well, we should have a whole episode on Mixon one day.
We can do Mixon later. So yeah, so I think it's McCaffrey, Geis, Cook are 1A or 2A, 2B, and then Henry's fourth for me, and then Mixon fifth. But let me ask you this because before you get to Riley's list, I'm kind of curious. Actually, no, what? I'll save this for after you rank these guys for us, Riley.
Okay, so I think my list goes Cook 1, Geis 2, McCaffrey 3, Mixon 4, and then tier break.
Oh, there's in tier break.
Henry 5.
Henry 18.
There's a big gap between Henry and Mixon.
You're not Riley. That's how a lot of people feel, and that is the reason that I kind of feel I might want to buy Henry out of this group because people really do think he is a tier below. But
that's how I felt about like a month ago when we talked about Jay Ajayi.
Oh, Ajayi's definitely.
We hated him so much, and I started thinking, well, he might be a decent buy.
Henry's like Bitcoin though. Like he's gonna go up and then plummet. So you got to make sure you sell him at the right time.
I'm fine with that.
So Kevin, what was your?
So I mentioned that my wide receiver has a similar value. So I looked into some of these players, but it's interesting to me because you went with 2019 picks for your comparables, which I like and I appreciate. But
Riley's 2018 drafts are all finished.
And most people's are, but the reason I wanted to bring this up for 2018 is because I wanted to ask you guys about the two players who, according to DLF ADP for rookies, I'm curious if you think that you would take those two players. The two players that pop out at 102 and 301, which in
Kevin, you froze, or is it me?
It was Kevin.
It was Kevin?
Yeah, because I got it too.
All right. Well, if me and you can talk to each other, then it's obviously Kevin.
What was this?
Oh,
this was
sorry.
at like 32.
Oh.
Did you guys lose me?
Nope. Yeah, you're back.
What was the last thing you heard?
The last thing we heard was the players that came off at 102 and 301 were
okay. All right.
Cliffhanger, if ever there was one.
So yeah, the players that came off at 102 and 301 this year were Geis and there's Geis who we talked about and Nyheim Hines. So Riley, I'm sure since Geis was second on your list, I believe that you would take
Kevin again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Kevin, it's you. Nope. Keep your Audacity going, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm here.
Log out and log back in on the Google Hangout.
Can you do that? If I do that, does it stop? Does it stop the broadcast?
You're the one that's running it, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right.
Hang on. Let me just
just
check
try
my
it again.
Wi-Fi's here.
Tell your wife to stop streaming. It's like, what time is it? Oh, no.
It's 11:30.
11:30. Shouldn't she be in bed?
She's asleep, I hope. All right, let's try again. One more time.
Go ahead.
Fuck.
No, you're still here. We didn't lose you this time. Darius Geis and Naheem Hines. We got a little further.
Every time I go to talk, I can see that you guys like pause.
Oh, we didn't pause that time. We heard.
Oh, you guys were being very still.
Yeah, we didn't lose you that time.
Oh, all right. All right, so the guys that came in at 102 and 301, which are obviously the picks that would be the value for this year's picks, was Darius Geis and Nyheim Hines. Riley, I'm pretty sure that you would take Geis and Hines because you had Geis over McCaffrey. But Bosch, what's your thoughts on that?
For me, it's easily Christian McCaffrey still. I'm going to take McCaffrey straight up over Geis, I think. So Naheem Hines is not going to move the needle. I know a lot of people are jumping on the Hines bandwagon. I'm actually a Marlon Mack fan to the point where I like his value. I'm not sold that Indianapolis knows who their running back is beyond this year. So for me, this is Christian McCaffrey. Unless I said Geis 3 minutes ago, right? No, I'm pretty sure I still said McCaffrey, right?
You said McCaffrey.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think we lost Riley too.
Nope,
No,
Riley's
I'm
here.
here.
He just wasn't joining us.
Sorry.
All right, hold on. Riley, is Kevin correct that you do want the Darius Geis, Naheem Hines side?
Yeah, I mean, Geis and McCaffrey are close for me, but I give the slight edge to Geis because I know he's going to be the running back. And he's going to catch passes too. I don't care what people say. We didn't see it at LSU, quote unquote. He's going to catch passes because he's a fantastic running back. And I love Chris Thompson, but both of those guys are going to catch balls out of the backfield. And John's shaking his head no.
No, I as much as I love CMC at the value that he is, I love Chris Thompson at the value he is too. So, nope, I am fully on board that I will, given the choice of running backs, good God, Chris Thompson, Christian McCaffrey, Chris Thompson, like, I like their roles. So I know that's not the actual like comparison deal, but I think Chris Thompson cuts into Geis's pass catching ability way more than anybody cuts into Christian McCaffrey's rushing ability, if that makes sense.
Yes, I mean, I get it. I think CJ Anderson carries the ball quite a bit, though.
Yeah,
I mean, I could easily see
198 times, just like Stewart did.
Yep.
So
I think less. I think it's less than 198.
I do too, actually. I do.
If he tops 125, I'm going to be really surprised.
CJ Anderson, he'll have more than 125.
I mean, he'll have 160 to 170.
Oh, no way.
I think they're both going to be in the same range around 175.
Yes, I agree. I 100% agree.
No, I don't think. I don't.
But again, that's what 50 more carries for.
I mean,
McCaffrey,
the one thing that CJ Anderson has in his favor is he's likely to get the closer to the end zone carries, right? But the closer to the end zone receptions, those are going to Christian McCaffrey, not to CJ Anderson.
Yeah, I agree there.
You bring up the one point that the only knock that I have on McCaffrey is his touchdown upside is capped for sure. There's no question about that. I mean, he's never going to score more, like 10 or more touchdowns.
If they're like 5 yards within the end zone, it's going to Cam Newton probably first, then probably CJ Anderson. McCaffrey's never getting a carry from there. That's fine. But I don't care. Maybe they give him a swing pass from there and he gets a touchdown. I'll take that.
I mean, he had 5 receiving touchdowns last year too. So, I mean, that does help.
I think that goes up.
I don't know that that's going up. I don't know.
I think it's going up.
I'll take that bet. I'll take that.
All right. What are the stakes? I'll take the other. I'll take that bet too.
I don't know. We'll decide that off air.
We'll figure that one out.
But before we get off McCaffrey, Kevin, I hope this doesn't. Maybe we'll use it as a segue. But I have a bonus section. I reached out to Dynasty Twitter and I asked for any recent McCaffrey trades. So I hope that didn't kind of spoil it for you guys.
I should follow you on Twitter, Riley.
You should follow me. So here's our bonus trade. This comes from Kevin. I hope I say this right. Pongrats. He is at Pongratio.
Yeah.
So
he's a
congrats for getting a trade on the pod. No.
Oh wow.
Okay.
We're gonna edit that right
terrible.
out. That one sounds
That was funny.
You are a dad.
So anyway, so pick a
How
side.
many kids? Congrats on the kid.
No. Okay, so let's pick a side. Christian McCaffrey and a third, or AJ Green.
Ooh. What's the? Can I get scoring settings?
I don't know. 12-team PPR.
Oh, sure, fine. Make it basic. I think I'm still AJ. I think I'm still AJ Green, but to me, honestly, that feels like a really fair trade. If you need a running back, I would favor the Christian McCaffrey side. If you need a receiver, I would favor the AJ Green side. So I'm just gonna lay down on this fence post right now.
Okay, Bosch. Let's say you have a loaded team all around. McCaffrey or Green.
A loaded team all around. So like AJ Green might not even be my starting receiver. Then I'm going to go to
never mind. Kevin.
Oh, God.
Riley, if you throw in a fourth right now, the deal's done.
I'm not even on which side. I'm not offering you a trade.
It doesn't matter. You're throwing a fourth at either side. It's done. No,
right, so you're really on the fence too.
I'm on the fence, but I would probably I'm going to lean McCaffrey side actually, just because I like McCaffrey. I think running backs are a little. You guys know. You guys know how I play. I don't play with wide receivers. I take second tier wide receivers all day long.
So this is interesting because I think I'm going to take McCaffrey, and I'm not going to say it's not close, but when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, sure, give me McCaffrey in the third because, AJ Green's 30.
You're an ageist.
And I don't care. Yes, screw it. I don't care. That's not what a lot of my rosters say, but give me McCaffrey. We know he's going to have another 4 to 5 years of catching 85 balls from Cam Newton.
100.
100, sure. I think you can get, a very similar receiver to AJ Green, like a Demaryius Thomas, for a whole lot cheaper, and they're the same age. They're going to have the same production, but one of you is going to cost you a second-round startup pick, and the other is going to be a sixth. So I'd rather take McCaffrey and then go get a Demaryius or a Marvin Jones, somebody like that who's going to give you very similar production, but at a much lesser cost.
I like that.
So that's going to – thank you. That's a point for me. We'll go ahead and decide that on air.
Point for Riley. Point for Riley. Bobby, give him points.
Yes.
That's a really close. It's a really close trade argument. I'm like, I would struggle to pick a side.
Great question. Thank you for the submission, or thank you for reaching out to Riley, because it makes him feel good about himself. So we appreciate that.
I got a lot of responses. I had to pick one.
We still have another player to go over tonight, guys.
Yeah, go to receiver.
Right. We will move along to receiver. And as I mentioned, I am going to talk about a guy who has a similar value to Christian McCaffrey. He's also a second-year player. He was a highly touted rookie, but only played 11 games, only started 9 of them, came on towards the end of the season. The guy I'm going to talk about tonight is Corey Davis. Corey Davis comes in on the calculator at a value of 26.6. He is currently the 26th overall player being drafted according to DLF ADP. And the cost pick, we just talked about it. In this year's picks, you're talking the 102 and the 301, which comes out to 24.5, I guess. And or similar to Riley, you're talking about an early one and a mid one in 2019 first. So Riley, we'll start with you. Similar to your guy, what are you doing for 2 first-round picks or Corey Davis?
Man, I love Davis. You know what? I have a firm belief that Corey Davis is one of the next elite guys. We see Dez is already gone. Julio's going soon. AJ Green's going soon. I think Davis is going to be one of those next replacements for him. Give me Corey Davis. I don't care what you say. Davis.
All right, Bosch, what about you?
All right, so you said Julio and AJ Green are going soon. Can you define soon? Is that 1 year?
2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years.
2 years.
2 years?
Okay.
2 years? You think there's a chance that Julio or an AJ are gone in 2 years, or at least degraded
Not
enough
gone, but like
that their values that dipped?
But they dropped to like that Larry Fitzgerald level of just a wide
like a
receiver
Demarius Thomas.
a Demarius
drop.
Thomas level of right around wide receiver, close to 1, 2.
Yeah.
That's a shame, right?
Do you see what he's getting at there, Riley? Can you figure it out?
I know it's going to come back to my McCaffrey take, so
it sure will. Oh man, but the 102 and 301, that's
We just talked about the players. You're talking about Geis and Hines, or a wide receiver that you could take after that if you're.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what wide receiver I could take at 301. It feels like I'm like I said, I'm a Marlon Mack fan, and I'm not a Nyheim Hines fan.
Some in that general vicinity would be
who are the wide receivers?
DJ Shark, Traquan Smith, Antonio Callaway, Deshaun Hamilton, or guys.
I'll tell you what, if I could take Geis and either DJ Shark, Antonio Callaway, like when you go that way, I'm gonna take the picks as well.
What about the 19 firsts? You get an early first and a mid first.
Man, that's tough. Early first and mid first. I don't know. You hear these things about the wide receiver class of 2019, so I think, man, you're making me struggle here, Kevin. This is a good one to bring up. I think I'm going to take Corey Davis. I like the fact that he is the number one receiver on a team going forward. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take the known because I don't often like to gamble with the unknown. It feels like 2018 picks, those are known. Geis, and then, maybe it's Shark, maybe it's Traquan Smith. That to me would sway me. But if I'm only offered 2019 picks, those are still unknowns. So in that case, I'd take Corey Davis. Did I hedge that question enough for you guys? That's a tough. This is a tough one.
I think this comes down to Corey Davis or Christian McCaffrey. Like, gun to your head, pick one.
Oh, if we're going DTC, gun to your head. Hell, it's Christian McCaffrey for me all day.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we disagree. I think I would take Davis, because I don't know. I think McCaffrey has back to McCaffrey. A more.
I feel like we just spent an hour on this.
A more solid floor, and I think his ceiling is a little more out there, if that makes sense. You need to see my hand gestures. Sorry.
Riley's all over the place with the hand
McCaffrey's ceiling is a little more capped than Davis.
McCaffrey's ceiling is safer. It's there. It's concrete. His ceiling is going to be harder. His value is going to be harder to gain. Like, he doesn't have a lot of space to go up, but he has a lot more space to go down. Whereas Davis has a lot of ceiling that he hasn't reached yet and even touched. So, yeah. Sorry.
I think for me it is 100% Christian McCaffrey, then Corey Davis, then everything else we've talked about so far in this discussion.
Okay.
That's John, fair. Why don't we pause for you, buddy?
Thank you, sir.
Oh, he had to pee.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So
Any thoughts
Huh?
for a
Oh,
final?
this
like,
is going to be a
topic?
long episode, anyways.
Yeah, I think we just
So
probably
we
cut
might
it, right?
we might
Yeah.
just cut it short.
We're already at 48 minutes, and I know we got to cut a decent amount, but still.
So real quick, because this is going to be deleted, I think, and I didn't get to this because this was going to just set you guys off. It would not shock me if McCaffrey has a similar career path to Gio Bernard.
Oh, no way. Come on.
Because Gio was good, and he struggled running between the tackles and then just got regulated to that third down guy where he caught 60 to 70 balls a year. But look at Gio's rookie year. It's eerily similar to McCaffrey's. He had probably 15 less receptions, but he had more rushing yards. And he had a
170 rushes for 700 yards. He only had 71 targets and 56 receptions. That's almost half. Half.
Well, he had no.
He
McCaffrey
never had.
80.
He never had more than. He has never had more than 56 receptions, which is what he had in his rookie year.
But he's a better rusher, so I think it kind of balances out. I think that's where I was getting.
I can't argue with
total
that.
numbers.
I can't argue with
numbers.
that. But though, I mean, that's what I'm saying about McCaffrey though, is that his floor is those catches. I mean, I don't think he's going that low.
His floor is higher, but I mean, I don't think he's going to be a bell cow David Johnson like player.
He won't need to be though. They're not. Any team that has him isn't drafting that either. By the way, I think they're always going to offset McCaffrey by a guy like C.J. Anderson or someone of that ilk. Where
like a lower tier running back.
They'll bring in a lower tier guy, but they're not going to spend on him, and they're not going to spend a lot of draft capital on those guys because they have McCaffrey.
Before we get back into it, does anybody have a strategy point for tonight?
We were just talking about that. We won't even need it tonight. This is going long anyway. So
okay.
Ask Amber is on the table though.
Ask Amber.
She's down to answer a couple questions.
I actually do think didn't we have a Twitter question? I kind of feel like we had a Twitter question.
No,
was that last time?
Last episode was the auction setting up the board, but all right.
Sorry guys.
No. Hey.
Kevin's of my age. You can only drink so many before you're about to burst. Sorry, Riley. Look forward to your future, man.
All good.
Look forward to your future. I love it. All right.
Like you step up to the toilet and it's like, wow, thank God I made it.
Apparently, I already have a kid, so
yeah, right.
You have made multiple dad jokes tonight.
It's true. That's my sense of humor.
All right, guys. So getting into players here, the guys that I looked at, we're going to start with the wide receivers. And I don't know how much we're going to need to talk about the running backs that I pulled because they're most of the guys from Riley's list. But Stefan Diggs comes in at 26.5, Tyreek Hill at 24, and Juju Smith-Schuster at 24.9. So
I love him, my buddy.
Riley, we're going to start with Riley because I know that Riley's going to go for the Bobby point here and put Juju first.
Yeah, you put Juju first. You're wrong.
I can't do it when Corey Davis is in here. So let's say we had Diggs, Hill, Juju, and was there a fourth?
Nope, Corey Davis.
Okay, so we are going to go – man, this is tough, and I'm deciding between my 1 and 2. So we're gonna go
try to win the game for Bobby.
I'm not trying to win the game for Bobby. I'm being honest. Juju's my 4th. We're gonna get that out there right now.
Wow.
Juju's last.
Okay, you just lost because you're wrong.
Juju's last.
Totally wrong.
We're gonna go from the bottom. Juju 4, Tyreek Hill at 3.
Look at this.
And then we're gonna go. Man, this is close, but I'll go Corey Davis 2. Stephon Diggs at 1, but Diggs and Davis are very close.
Very just about close. Even on the calculator, so that makes sense. Bosh, what about you?
Close, I don't want to decide. Just throw me a 4th, one of the ways, and we'll go on.
All right, so for me, Diggs, I agree. He is number 1. Juju and Tyreek is tough for me. I'll say Corey Davis is my 4th. He's right there at 4. So
4.
Yeah, I don't like Tyreek Hill a lot, but I know the value that he brings in a trade. It's enormous.
Right
so
now.
for this podcast where we are talking about values, Hill is above Corey Davis for me. I don't think you're going to find a league where you can get more for Corey Davis than you're going to get for Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is above Corey Davis trade value wise. Is Tyreek Hill above Juju? Man, that's close. For me, it's close. I think overall, I think Tyreek Hill is above Juju slightly. So from a trade value perspective, I'm going to put Tyreek as my number 2. Man, that feels wrong. Juju is my number 3, and Corey Davis is my number 4. But you can get so much for Tyreek and Juju right now that you can get more for them than you can get for Corey Davis. So that's my rankings. Diggs, Hill, Juju, Corey Davis.
All right, for me, I am probably going Davis 1.
What?
Juju 2.
Whoa.
Diggs 3, and then Tyreek Hill.
You know what? I like that.
I can get on board with your Juju take, but has Davis been auctioned off in our startup right now, Kevin? Because I
don't know. I don't know if he's been auctioned or not, but
we might have an issue.
The thing is, you could convince me otherwise, so I don't think we'll have an issue, Bosch, because I can be convinced. Corey Davis makes me a little nervous in that I'm not 100% sold on Mariota being a guy that's going to have significant enough volume to make more, a lot of receivers work. But I also don't know who the wide receivers in that offense are going to be besides Davis. So I like, so there is value there as well. And Davis, in my opinion, has the most talent out of all these guys. I think he came out of, out of college with the most talent. So
point.
Juju for me, I can take him or leave him, but his value, I think is high right now, very high. And as a result, his trade value for me kicks him up to 2, where he might be in line with Diggs, I think, otherwise, or a little bit below Diggs otherwise. Diggs I like as a player. I get a little nervous with Kirk Cousins going over to that offense to see what happens there. So that has a little pause that maybe we might see a dip in value for either Thielen or Diggs, whoever Cousins decides he doesn't like as much. And then I put Hill at 4th because I think, while you're right, John, I think that he does have good value in the trade market right now.
He has Sammy coming in, right, Kevin?
I don't know that it lasts because I'm not a Sammy guy.
No, I know you're not.
But at the same time, he's another weapon in that offense that's going to take targets away. And we know that Tyreek Hill doesn't get a lot of volume to begin with. So he's a guy that I can see his value plummeting pretty quickly.
That is a good point. If you look at it from that perspective, like market share of receptions, Corey Davis probably leads this list. He probably has the highest market share on his team of any of these 4. But just total targets, I'm still not sure that Corey Davis leads total targets. I don't know that the Tennessee offense throws as much as Minnesota or Kansas City or Pittsburgh. You think it does?
Yeah. So Matt LaFleur is the new offensive coordinator. I'm from Tennessee, so I get a lot of Titans news. The offense is going to be it's quick, it's up tempo. It's not the old let's hand the ball off on first and second down and run a play action dump off to the third tight end Philip Supernaw for our 3rd and 4th
Such
play.
a great name.
So great name, but terrible player. So I could see Davis getting 150 targets plus this year. I think it could be that much. When you look at the other 3 guys,
who do you think leads this list in targets?
I think it's Davis because when you look at Diggs and Thielen are going to get probably about the same.
I think Diggs gets more targets than Corey Davis.
I think it's close, but
it's very close for me. I think it's very close.
But Thielen's up there. Thielen's going to be that for sure. He's going to be open on almost every play. Plus, you throw in Dalvin Cook out of the backfield, Kyle Rudolph at tight end. There are a lot of targets to go around in that offense, which is very similar to Kansas City, where you've got, Tyreek, Sammy coming in, and then Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt. And then I don't want to talk about Juju because I don't like him.
Because you're wrong.
It's the same way. You got Antonio Brown, who's going to come in 175. So, yes, I think Corey Davis could easily lead that group in targets.
I agree with you. I mean, Thielen had 142 to Diggs' 95. Obviously, that's 2 less games for Diggs last year, but I don't see that offense changing too much, even though they brought in Cousins, although I'm still not sure 100% which one he's going to pick, as I just mentioned, because I think Cousins, at least in my opinion, he has a little bit more of a tendency to lock into receiver that he has a connection with than he may with and than with other quarterbacks like a guy like Case Keenum, who doesn't gets by as best as he can. So I think that's a concern for me. So, but yeah, I could see Davis being the target leader here. We know he's going to have more than Hill for sure. And I mean, Juju's got Antonio Brown. So
right.
Yeah,
he probably is. I mean, Bell and Brown, they're probably going to out-target Juju.
And Bell. I completely forgot about.
Plus James Washington.
James Washington will cut into it. You're not going to convince me, but still, there is certainly a path for Corey Davis to be the target leader of this group. Wow. God, Tennessee,
Tennessee, we got him. I think we got him.
We did. He's starting to turn. I like it.
I still don't think Tennessee runs their offense through the air. I just don't. I don't think they do. They've got talented running backs. They've got talented running quarterback. I don't think that's how Tennessee runs their offense.
And a receiver who they took top 5.
Yeah, they invested, but.
All right, so we talked about Joe Mixon earlier, and we talked about Christian McCaffrey earlier, so I'm not going to throw those out there, but I do have a bonus running back comparison for you guys. Melvin Gordon comes in on the calculator at 24.8, so fairly close. I'm just curious because I'm curious what Gordon's value is. So, Bosch, we'll start with you. Corey Davis versus Melvin Gordon.
This is easy Melvin Gordon for me. I mean, I know that for some reason people hate Melvin Gordon. He's inefficient. I get it. Whatever. Melvin Gordon gets volume like few other running backs get. So I'll take Melvin Gordon pretty easily right now for Corey Davis. I'm always in trying to win now. Melvin Gordon is going to score me more points over the next 2 years than Corey Davis.
Riley, you seem... Riley, by the way, Riley threw his hands up in disgust. He was so he almost knocked over his mic. If you guys could see him, he was very upset by Bosch's.
Yeah. Riley's like, thank God I do not own a team with Bosch.
It would never happen. It would not that it would never happen. We just disagree a lot. There'd be a lot of Voxer chats.
It would be a struggle.
A lot of flipping of coins. This is Davis for me. I mean, people know that I like Melvin Gordon because volume is everything in fantasy, and I've rostered Gordon a lot, but we've just had not so many years, but I mean, we've had 3 years now of Gordon. His yards per carry doesn't look great, but he still gets the volume, and we can't depend on volume forever. Davis is on the up and up. Obviously, Gordon's maxed out. Give me Davis. It's not, a stretch. Like, it's not way far apart. It's close, but I mean, it's Davis pretty easily.
I'm actually torn on this, and I didn't think I would be. I thought, I'm a running back guy. I like the running back. I almost always take the running back over the receiver. And I think in this case for me, it would really boil down to my chances of winning a championship and what my team construction is for this year and maybe next year. The reason I have pause with this is because Corey Davis's shelf life in the league is going to be probably another 8 years longer than Melvin Gordon is. And no one builds their roster expecting them to have players on their roster for that long. But if you do have a team for that, if you're playing a dynasty league for that long, Corey Davis is the type of player that could be on your team every year. So it's really close for me, and I like Melvin Gordon a lot, but I am a little nervous that he will not last, and I am a little nervous that his production could even go down, particularly with them trying to figure out who takes over after Phillip Rivers decides he's had enough kids that he needs to retire. So
that's the reason to play more.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, so I'm a little nervous. I'm so on the fence on this one. I can't even decide, but I guess it would be team construction for me. All right, that's enough. We've talked way too much tonight, so we are not going to get to a strategy point tonight, but we'll be back in a couple of weeks with one of those for you. Just want to remind you that we would love it if you rate and review us on wherever you get your podcast. We're on the Dynasty Trade Calculator feed, as you know, since you found us. So make sure you highlight that you are leaving a good review for Dynasty Wall Street when you do that. That would be great. You can follow the show at Dynasty Wall Street. That's ST for Street on Twitter. You can follow John Bosch as at Empire FFL. You can follow Riley as at DTC_Riley B. Still waiting for you to change that, Riley. It's way too much. Okay. And you can follow me at Wally Central. So that's it. We'll be back in a couple of weeks.
I'm pretty sure the number of characters in Riley's is less than Wally Central.
Anyone with an underscore should be shot.
Oh, strong take. We should probably actually tell people, hey, if you have a strategy question that you want us to talk about, let us know, because then we could actually answer their strategy questions.
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
I'll see if I can splice that in.
Oh, you want me to say it in a different way? Or
yeah.
You say it, even better, you say it in a different way.
Yeah, so I'll add this into after our rate and review. Do we is it Wall Street spelled out for our Gmail? We know.
I have no idea.
Were we supposed to stop?
Just tell them. Just tell them.
Don't worry about it, Riley. I got it covered. If you stop, that's fine.
Okay, I stopped.
Just tell them to tweet us.
That's fine. Oh, you just tell them to tweet us. All right. And if you do have a question for us or a strategy point that you want us to talk about, you can definitely hit us up on Twitter and ask that question. We'll be happy to answer it for you and work it into the show. All right. And you can stop.
All right. So there was something you said we needed to talk about off air. But I don't remember what it was. I've been dying to know what it was, but I can't remember what it was about.
Didn't Riley say that?
I don't remember. It was one of you. It wasn't me. I nominated Doug Martin for us. Doug Martin. I really hope somebody bids in the one, Kevin.
I think he's a solid buy at the minimum.
If we get him for a half, I agree. That's a great value. This auction's nuts. I really like our team, but God, we need some fucking wide receivers.
The wide receiver thing's starting to freak me out a little bit.
It is, me too. I mean, Fitzgerald's now at 18.5, and Demaryius Thomas is 21.5. That's too much.
Do we have a Dropbox by any chance?
That's right.
Working on that right now.
Okay, thank you.
So
sorry, Riley, Mr.
Out of here. My girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm on vacation. I gotta go do stuff.
Oh no, I'm about to go to bed. I'm pretty tired.
All right, so I should probably let you guys know. So 2 weeks from now, I'm going to be in Germany.
Yep.
2 weeks after that, I'm actually going to be at the beach.
All right.
I'm at the beach.
Hey, I know you're at the beach. I am not saying I can't be there, but I don't know what. Like, it's hard for me to know. Because sometimes when we go to the beach, if it's rainy, we'll end up going and doing stuff at night. I definitely will I'm going to take my stuff. I will take my microphone, my headphones. I will take all of that stuff.
But not next week, but next episode, you're gone.
Next episode, I can't imagine. Well,
Okay.
I mean, if we record at 11 a.m. Eastern time, that's 5 a.m. Germany time. I could do that. I would wake up to record with you all. The big question is, hold on, 2 weeks from actually today, I got to make sure. If we're in Iceland or Greenland at that point, that's a big fat no.
You don't have to worry about it, dude. We can find.
But I actually.
What do you guys think about getting just like Hurley or Izzy to come on as our?
If you can get Hurley or
as our
Izzy,
third.
that'd be if you can get Hurley, Izzy, or Waylon, and I don't have to worry about it, we should probably ask that, because then that would be awesome.
That'd be kind of keeping it, mainstream, and I think it'd be
It would be. So that's the way we should go.
So it's 2 weeks and then another 2 weeks. So if we ask Hurley and
July 11th
or Waylon.
July 11th, I'll be in Germany still. If you can't get Izzy or Waylon or JP, if you can't get one of them, I will make it, but the earliest I can make it is 11 p.m. Eastern, because I'm not waking up at 4 in the morning. That's going to be rough, because I'll be drunk the whole fucking time I'm over there.
Wait a second. Hold on here. So 28th. Oh yeah. So
July 11th.
July 11th, and then you're also gone on the 25th.
Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. Oh, maybe I did my math. Maybe I looked at the calendar wrong. No, because we're not at the beach until the 29th to the 4th. So I'm in town on the 25th. I'm good on that one.
So let's just ask Hurley if he'll do the week of the 11th.
Try to get Hurley, Izzy, or Waylon on the 11th. If you can get one of them to fill in, that's fantastic. If you can't, I will make it, because I do like this show a lot.
All right. Well, I'll send them a note. Those guys a note.
Hey, Kevin, what's your email?
Kevin Cotillo at Gmail.
Yahoo. How do you not know?
Yahoo or Gmail, either one. Gmail is here. Actually,
I always use Yahoo. Do you want me to start using Gmail?
Yeah, whatever. It really doesn't matter, but Gmail I check a little bit more.
Oh, well, the email that you sign up with stuff is Yahoo, so
it depends now. I used to, yes, that's correct, but now I switched more over to Gmail, because Yahoo's kind of a pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the ass. I need to make the transition, but do you have any idea how many people have my Yahoo email? Like, how do you start to make that transition?
I just started using it more and more, and then eventually, like, the only shit I could get in was just like whatever. That's why I keep it. It's just because there's still some stuff that pops up. You just start, eventually it switches over. But the biggest thing is getting logged into all that shit. I just kind of did it over time. Like when I was on something, I'd just go and change it, but I didn't make it a point to do them all at once.
What's your MFL link to right now?
Why, Riley? Do you need can you not upload, or what's
taking a while because I'm on
hotel
Wi-Fi, condo Wi-Fi, hotel Wi-Fi.
Is it saved on your computer?
Yeah, I've got it saved. So if I need to upload it, because I'll be home Friday night.
Yeah, just send it to me when you get back, dude. Don't even worry about it.
Okay.
Fuck out of here.
Mine's up there, Kevin.
Go hang out with your girlfriend.
You should have mine.
Oh, she's asleep.
Good.
Amber gone.
So you're not. So tonight's not the night for the first fuck.
Oh my gosh!
He already got his first fuck. So.
No, considering our parents are right over there.
I'm not actually gonna ask. I don't really care.
Okay.
It was just hilarious when you said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came off not how I intended to.
Pretty good.
But yeah,
it really was. It was pretty good.
I'm going through and making offers for all my Corey Davis non-shares. So we'll see where that gets me.
So
All
you're
right.
going and buying Corey Davis real fast, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I think his value is less than the calculator. I think the calculator's wrong a lot.
Wow. It's a good thing we're not still recording. We're not still recording, are we? Oh, we
No.
are recording.